Hello everybody, welcome to the live stream on Tuesday night, November 18, something like that. Anyways, sitting here as usual waiting for people to pile in. I am not going to be talking a lot tonight. 3 hours was the last one, did pretty good. I think this format I might keep, and hey, I might even keep the Tuesday nights running for at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's what seems to may work. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, we're sitting here waiting for people to pile in and YouTube do its thing to let people know. Here I am. Okay, so what have I been working on lately? First thing is a couple of people have been talking about show me the money, where's your track record, blah, 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 blah. Generally, what I find with people asking questions like that, they have every right to ask, and I think it is a good way to gauge a so-called trading gurus' trading performance. Nothing wrong with that. The problem I'm seeing a lot of the time, they just put up some spreadsheet, some fake Photoshop image that can be manipulated so easily in today's AI world. And what's the better way to do it is to get your trading performance measured on a third-party verified server or website or service. The one I'm looking at is TraderSync, SYNCH. I'm hoping that it can integrate with both EdgeClear and Rhythmic. As you know, I'm just on the verge of testing out some orders with Rhythmic, who is the data provider and the ability of the venue to trade in for futures with the U.S. markets out of Chicago, CME, Chicago Mercantile Exchange. So I'm trying that out. Another big caveat right now is the markets are down. So when I do my scans, what I'm finding, and they're all based upon trending and momentum based or trend following, there's not a lot of instruments right now, showing any profit. So I put up a long form video Saturday, I believe, and I thought, hey, why don't I just switch up the strategy types from trend following to mean reverting, because the markets are very flat. So that's what I'm doing, and be trying that maybe even later tonight. But there's still a function of testing out all the orders on Rhythmic, trying that out. You have to do that between the trading hours of 9 and 5 or whatever it is for futures market to make it valid. Otherwise, there's these extra charges of overnight holding on fees and stuff. So, hello, how are you? Anyways, yeah, so that's where we're at, and yeah, it's kind of frustrating for people, and you gotta work with what you got, right? Anyway, so that's what's been going on, and I'll be switching most of these strategies over to mean reverting. I'll be testing out streaming with live orders, bid-ask stuff, so it's pretty low-level stuff. So, if you got questions, let me know. Just sitting here blabbing away, but looks like we got a one-person audience, and thanks for that. If you got any questions or comments, let me know. I'll gladly answer it. As I said, I'm not trying to do this for very long tonight. My last one was over 3 hours, so that could be pretty tiring. And that can be pretty exhausting after a while. But nonetheless, I make myself available. So I'm hoping within half an hour there'll be more people coming in, asking whatever. So I'll just continue blabbing until I see questions or comments on this stream. All right, so let me ask you, are you currently trading or wanting to trade, or what do you want? What are you trading currently? What's your challenges? Let me know. I'll be glad to answer whatever I can. I think most people that are coming in are MetaTrader folks, MetaTrader 4 or 5, which tells me they're either CFD or Forex. I'm really surprised it's still popular. But there it is. It's out there. It's still easily my number one set of things. So you are currently trading on JDI on Interactive Brokers. I have been on Interactive Brokers. Let me know if you got any questions. Are you doing automated trading or any kind of algorithmic trading? If so, let me know. I could see where I can help you out. I think last week I mentioned moved off of, well, I'm still active on Interactive Brokers, but all my automations now moving over to futures and options with Rhythmic and EdgeClear. So that's my choice right now. I've kind of gone over some of the disadvantages with Interactive Brokers. So yeah, I'm moving on from that. The data on Rhythmic's been pretty good. I've got no real complaints. And if you got anything you want to add or comment on, let me know. Let me ask you if you are working with are you doing an API or are you doing it through the portal? Here we go. I'm currently algo trading using the API. So far it's working okay. I just wish the commissions were lower. I don't think you can get any broker that's lower unless you're trading at higher volume. But the commission fees are probably as low as they go. I mean, one thing I will say, don't go with any broker that offers free commissions because, well, we've already talked about that too, about the snooping and the quote, what do you call it? Basically snoop, what's the term for it? Yeah, there's a term for it where you put your order out and if you're using market orders, they will see that and trade against you within a blink of an eye. It's so fast. And the crowd of, I'm not going to mention it here because of the lawsuits, but if they just have zero commission, that's who to stay away from because, to practice, fine. But usually it's going to be harder to profit off of that kind of environment because that broker is selling the trader order flow to the high frequency trading shops that, I'm sure you know the big ones as well. So I try to not say anything that could, put me in a squirrely situation. I think I'm better off using the tiered commissions on IB instead of fixed. Tiered commissions. Fixed. I don't know anything about what you're saying, JDI, because all I know is if you're going through Interactive Brokers, you'll pay a flat fee and a percent of the price of whatever you're trading. It's usually a commission fee for that, and $1 each trip, unless something's different I don't know about. And it also might also depend upon what you're trading as well, what asset class. But if it's just equity stocks and stuff, it's just that $1. Interactive Brokers is pretty good, but if you get into volume, I think it might cause problems with the aggregated data, and I don't know. Just some other people have said they've had all kinds of problems, I guess. I can't really say anything about Rhythmic yet because I just download data. That's all I do right now. And hopefully tomorrow, Tuesday, I will start testing out the orders and see how that goes. I'll be starting really small because my account's tiny. The margin requirements are quite high for futures. I understand Australian dollar, just $1 will cost me $600 with a margin requirement, so that can get pretty hefty. Gonna try because there's a couple of things you have to consider. Is that because the markets are always been falling for the last 3-4 days. Here we go. They have a 35% minimum when using tier commission structure. I have to look into that. But either way, I think it's as low as you can get for a retail broker. I don't think there's anything else out there that's as low. It must be a new structure that they've brought in. So, yeah, that's all I could tell you there. Yeah, but like I said, with my testing market orders, I'll find out all the costs, all the requirements, and probably going to try micro euro because that's kind of performing. As I've mentioned before, the Ethereum, I'm not sure if I could trade that yet. But right now I just want to focus on the conventional instruments, not the crypto yet. I just want to get something working right now with the conventional, we'll just say non-crypto instruments out there in the futures market. So let me know if you got any other questions, JDI, or comments. What languages are you using for the API? When you were using how fast were your entry and exit? They were pretty good. They weren't like as soon as the call went in, there might have been depending upon the software you're connecting into, if you're using Trader Workstation, TWS, it could take a second or two, but I don't think that should be any real concern because you're just at best medium frequency. So it's reliable too. I'm currently with Python, but I'm thinking of using C++. That's fine. I was with Python, MotorWave, which is Java. It's fine. Works fine. If you're happy with it, as I said, depends what you're trading. Are you trading mostly stocks and equity, or what is your asset class that you're focusing on? Because that impacts the commission as well. As I said, so you might be getting a different commission rate based upon what you're trading. That's one thing I like about Interactive Brokers. It covers everything. So mostly stocks and equity. Yeah. So maybe it's your account size that you have that brings it down to 35 cents. So if you have a big account, you might be getting a discount. But as far as I know, it was $1 per trade plus the percent of what you're trading. So again, I don't know. Or your volume of trades as well matters as well. So if you're trading X amount, you can bring down your commission rate very low. But the data was pretty good. The execution of the trades were, But I'm assuming you're going through the TWS because there's a gateway as well, which is a bit faster. And then, I think the gateway is way faster actually. From what I remember, but if you're just going through TWS, it's going to have to go through the connection into TWS and then turn around and then execute the trade from within TWS on the routing that you're using, probably the smart routing as well. Oh, so you're using the gateway. Yeah, that's much faster. Yeah, that's the better way. Also, could depend upon your operating system as well. If you're with Windows on a dedicated box for this, that should be fairly fast. Same with Linux, but if you got other stuff running in the background, obviously that's going to hinder the speed of the trade. But gateway is the better way. On top of doesn't shut down on you, or shouldn't shut down on you at 11:45. I think it's local time to you. So that's the better way. For me, with Rhythmic, there's some kind of overnight holding fee, and it's very expensive. It goes over $1,000 depending upon what you're trading, or not. It's a extra margin requirement. There's no fees for that. But let's say if I'm trading Australian dollar, I think it was a euro, micro euro. I'm not sure. I can't remember, but it was around. Was it $100? I can't remember the size of the contract. And then you have the margin requirement of, let's say, $600 or $600. It depends upon the market at that time. but the margin requirement can vary based upon volatility and market condition at the time. So there's no fixed cost to that. But if you wanted to hold that position overnight, yeah, they have an additional requirement, another $1,000 or $2,000 on top of what's already to do it during the day trading, as they call it. So it's just better to keep the positions all within pretty well day trading. Close it out before they close at 5 p.m. as far as I recall. After that, you got to add more into the account or have the funds to cover it. So that kind of makes sense if the markets go haywire and your trades go haywire, like the way they are now overnight, and you're holding something like a currency or even a crypto where they just go haywire, and they got to protect themselves, obviously. So the full contract size would be well into thousands, I'm sure. That's why I'm just practicing on the micros. Then maybe at some point, if I'm really good, go up to the minis. But even the minis are very expensive too. I just found the ES is around, which is the S&P, about 20 some odd thousand to make a trade. Full contract, it's pretty nutty. So you have to have a big account and really good at making cash on all your strategies with the futures on the CME. It's big boy pants stuff. What else? If you got any other questions or comments, again, I don't know if you're willing to share what you're trading. Oh yeah, you already did stocks and equities. I'm using the gateway now. I use ChatGPT. Yeah, it's a smarter way. Oh, maybe we should talk about my experience with Gemini. Okay, so Gemini 3 just came out today. For code generation, it's no good. Or at least from what I'm using, if you've been following me with the Streamlit, not very happy with it. It's very expensive as well. The Codex 5.1 from OpenAI, not very good either. The only one that's good at code generating is still Claude 4.5. It's fairly expensive, but Gemini is beyond expensive. It's got to be 3 times the expense of Opus right now, or Opus 4.5 for Claude, and the Gemini 3 is just exorbitant. It's not worth it. And the Codex GPT is a little cheaper, but still the quality of code is not that good. So I don't know what to tell you there. If that's the way you're going to go. If you want to generate the best top quality code, stick with the Anthropic Claude because, well, it's got great debugging capabilities as well. So that's what it's really good at. But if ChatGPT is working for you, yeah, obviously continue with it. The thing is, with ChatGPT, it's and interactive brokers, because it's so popular, that would make sense to stick with interactive brokers. If you're going with some really small broker, you may not get your answers. I haven't used Claude yet, but when using ChatGPT, I can run into a lot of issues with the initial setup. Yeah, that's another thing I got to say. The Codex 5.1 from GPT 5.1 Codex, Claude 3, that you can still generate a lot of errors, which is not good. Google, the Gemini 3 didn't look so bad. I tried doing it with JavaScript. I tried to generate a Streamlit with Python. It was not that, the output was pretty poor. It was like on one of those open source free Chinese ones. Not very good. And like I said, it's very expensive. Claude is still the best one. And once you create your baseline, then I'd only use the Claude 4.5. But the cool thing about Claude 4.5 is when you try coding or getting code generated, there's no errors. I haven't really received any errors using Claude 4.5, and it's fairly fast as well. So that could be a big savior and a time booster as well, because you save obviously a lot of time. I just find that Gemini 3 and pretty well. ChatGPT 5.1 are not that great because you still generate a lot of, because I'm doing Python, a lot of runtime errors. As an example, I'll supply a file, CSV file, and then it still, complains about not being able to read the file. Yeah, so if you can, make the switch. Are you using an IDE for it, like a plugin, like Cursor, or I use tried Windsurf, which I like, but I'm just trying out an API as well. I haven't used. So I'm just trying out the API for code generation. It's not the right way to do it because you have to parse out on the response. You have to parse out what is code and what is not, and that's just a pain in the ass, to be honest. So I just continue doing what I do with the manual way. You got any other questions, dude? Or dudette? Well, I don't know. JDI. Appreciate you being here and asking all the questions. That's what I'm here for. If anyone's out there watching, Claude's a better way. The latest Claude too. What I'm noticing with Claude, it's getting cheaper now on the prompting, very much cheaper. But right now, it could be the same thing over time with Gemini 3. Gemini 3 is not that great. It may improve for coding, but right now, I just don't think it's prime time. If you're doing simple stuff, maybe. But Gemini 3 I didn't like at all. Because they were saying, this is going to be the new DeepSeek reset and really revolutionize AI and stuff. I don't see it. That's what they said about Grok 4 when it came out from Elon Musk. Said it would be the best thing, and didn't find that either. ChatGPT or Grok is okay. It just depends what you're using it for, but I'm just talking purely on coding. The Qwen 3 coder is pretty good for output, quality of output. DeepSeek, it's hard to say between DeepSeek and Qwen 3 coder. There's a couple other ones I've tried, some Chinese ones, and they're okay, but stick with the popular ones. That's all I can really tell you there. So let me know if you got any other comments or questions. So I've talked about my current status in the futures trading. Once I get the orders working, I think my next plan of attack will be to start banging out mean reverting. Oh, one thing I should mention is there's a particular Chinese LLM I'm using, and it's now kind of producing quant research paper quality stuff. I put a sample on my blog for gas, and it's really impressive what it can do, breaking down the formulas. And actual fact, it's so advanced now. Let me tell you this. It did expose me to HDL, which is the FPGA proprietary language for Xilinx, which is FPGA. It banged out some code in FPGA. I was really surprised. So we're at that point now, as time progresses, with this true high-frequency trading, we may start seeing, we can now start coding with FPGA code. It actually gave me the exact board to use, Xilinx, something or other. I don't know I didn't look into the cost of it. And now it's starting to spit out the code. But the problem is, as I said, like last time, you need to get specific data feeds for it to work properly. And the only way you get access to that is being co-located within the CME. That's the only way you can get access to it. Where do you find the Chinese models? I've just tried Olama.com, and LM Studio. So if you Google either one, people use LM Studio. It seems a lot more. Olama.com or Olama.ai. In there's a tab where you can see all the models. So when they say open source models, you'll see the DeepSeeks, you'll see the Quen, and from what I've seen, they're getting pretty good now. You have open source, you have, yeah, so they're getting there, man. And I'm going through a commercial solution to generate AI through an API. You can generate code, but the thing is that you can't decipher between the code and the comments. I haven't tried maybe saying just give me code only. I could do that, maybe. And then my goal is to, I don't know if you see my latest changes on the dashboards now. So if I have a dashboard that gives me a whole set of raw data, what I can do is that could be the latest data, and then part of the script that loads in that CSV market data from, let's say, Rhythmic, which is CME data. I can say backtest, okay, backtest everything. And then I say, give me a walk forward test and projects what will the best performing instruments will be for the next month. It can do that now. I've added now a feature where I have it generate a PDF. So I was hoping to be able to take those general PDF, which was what I used to call my executive summary, and then have that get fed into an AI, and then have the AI then spit out specific strategies that are used by high frequency trading shops, and use another model to generate the code, which would be the Claude. It's a very expensive solution, but I just doubled my budget now to accommodate that, because it can work really nice. And if I get this working, I think it would be pretty revolutionary, because what can happen is I'm testing now that I can stream data from Rhythmic, so I'm just seeing that now. So I'm going to see if I can get that working. I should be able to get it working, along with bid-ask spread and all that. I can confirm that can work. And then dynamically look at the data, and then have the Python, and then be able to say, okay, here's the data, generate a self-adapting strategy from that as the data comes in. And then have it dynamically create a separate Python script that I can run specifically for that instrument, so I can have it self-adapt via AI. You could do it with C++ as well. So this can be done for sure, and it's pretty exciting. But the question is, are you willing to to try it out with live money? Especially in a volatile environment. If you guys got questions, let me know. I'm just blabbing here, waiting for questions and comments coming in. So as I said, with the AI now being able to truly have a self-adapting environment, and then have it generate its own strategy based upon the data it sees. And you could do it with historical data, you could do it with streaming data, or just keep a subset of data for the day, and then build out a self-adapting strategy for that. As I said, you can also do it with C++, but I'm going to be truthful, there's more cost to it, because when you go from Python to C++, it's much more expensive because it's a lot more intense. See, the nice thing about Python is just one script, right? Whereas if it's C++, it's an entire monolithic application where you could have 5, 6 different CPP files, C++ files, the header files. Then you have to worry about the libraries. It's a real mess. So with Python, it's just better. I actually tried it out in JavaScript as well. And getting it to do a back test, it just blew the thing up. It literally blew the thing up, and you can't do back testing and that stuff in JavaScript. It's not built for it. You can get away with it in Python for sure, but definitely not a JavaScript. It's just a simple presentation and a raw file. But if you're trying to do some processing, I could probably do it with Node. JS, but why? Just stick with Python for that for now. But yeah, I'm just experimenting now what's capable, but you can do some pretty heavy duty stuff now for sure. You got any? Anybody got any further comments or questions based upon what I'm asking about here, or comment, blabbing about? We're at an exciting point. And I don't think a lot of people are either discovering the capabilities or taking advantage of what's available. From what I'm seeing online with, let's say, YouTube, they're nowhere as far along as I am. They're still thinking that ChatGPT is the bee's knees when it comes to AI and code generation and strategy and quant development. I'm not saying it's the worst, but it's definitely not the best. The best is, without a doubt, Claude. And as I said, to really do it properly, you got to be Claude 4.5, whatever it is. Otherwise, it just generates exceptions and errors that you try to generate stuff. But with Claude, I'm not finding that at all because it's so advanced. So, and the other thing is with the difference between Gemini and OpenAI versus Claude. If you ask for something, for instance, if you ask to do a back test, you ask it to just give me standard portfolio metrics as a check on the performance of a back test, it will give you so many metrics that you didn't ask for. It will also put it in a features that you wouldn't think, or in charting, much more advanced, that you get extras on from the prompt as part of the quality of the code, where Gemini and OpenAI just give you blasé stuff. So what I'm saying is, if I ask via OpenAI or Gemini 3 now, it's going to give me, I don't know, in Python maybe 400, 500 lines, whereas with Claude 4.5, I'm getting 1,000 lines. So you're getting double the features, and it's just easier. No bugs on your first iteration, which is, I would say, rare, but it's new. It's a new standard that these LLMs have to adhere to now, because Claude is definitely setting that standard. And just so people know, Anthropic are the leaders now in the B2B for modeling and having corporations use Anthropic Claude now. I don't know if you heard that. I think OpenAI, no, was it Microsoft? I forget who the second company, but they both put in $15 billion investment into Anthropic today. And these are companies that Amazon invested initially with Anthropic, so they have first to right when it comes to a takeover for Anthropic. Anthropic is definitely bleeding money, no different than OpenAI. I just don't think as much. And yeah, but they're in the billions, so they're still getting by. There was a point with Anthropic, they had to go out to Saudi Arabia or somewhere in the Mideast to get extra funding on rounds to sustain themselves, because they're just spending so much money. I just pray for Anthropic. And as Amazon, they put in an initial investment in the first round that I just don't know where Amazon and Anthropic are at. Anyways, who's got questions? I don't know if we got the same crowd as before. We should start seeing some stuff going on. No, we keep getting, I think it's UJDI, it's still here on the stream. So I don't know. If you guys got any questions, let me know. Yeah, but I think what we know when it comes to high-speed trading, automated trading, algorithmic trading, I think what I'm seeing online, there's definitely a lot of, I call them hot doggers, saying, well, we worked with, in partnership with, well, I think it was TradingView actually, we got this now magical indicator that we worked with ChatGPT or OpenAI, and it's awesome. And I don't know if you've seen the ad for TradingView on YouTube, but that's fine. It's TradingView. But if you get some no-name person claiming they got the best AI indicator or AI strategy or AI software, it's no different than anything else. It's just usually not that great. You don't even need it, because if you know how to prompt and code, Claude is all you need. You don't need any third-party stuff. You know. Let's see here. Not sure how long I'm going to be here for if we don't get any more people. Last Tuesday we did pretty good. Yeah, so everything's changing so fast, and it's going to continue to change. It's going to get more intense, more fierce with the competition. I haven't used TradingView for a while now. Well, now's the time to dive in, because you get, I think it's 75 or 80% off with TradingView. So definitely look at it if you're new to all this, but if you're already switching to C++ or something like that, I think you're beyond newbie. But to be honest, I prefer Python for now. As I said, setting up C++ is a real pain to convert whatever from a Python script into C++. Just a real pain. Originally, when I was trying with C++, it was originally a Qt application. It was just like, I don't want to deal with this. And then I had specifically asked for Dear I am you? No. I forget. I am GUI. I am GUI. And it just didn't work. It used to be pretty easy to build with I am GUI, but this was a pain in the ass. So I just kind of gave up on that as well. So able to get what I need, Python in the first go around, and I'm fine with it now. Because Python is easy. Tried out JavaScript. For presentation, it's fine. As I said, for anything heavy intensive, no, I won't touch JavaScript. Give it a shot. Can work for specific needs, but generally I prefer Python. Just an all-purpose, very versatile language. And, I can work it with Rhythmic, no problem. I'm not sure what we got here. Welcome. If you got any questions, comments, let me know. Let me know. The way we're going, I'm not sure if I'll be here for a very long time, because I'm wanting to get back at coding. But I already talked about my latest experiences with the latest AI rounds. And Gemini 3 is going to be the most talked about over the next while. But just didn't live up to my hype. I think there's a Grok 4.1. Nah. Anthropic Claude it is. And I think Quen 3 Coder's getting kind of close, about 70% to what Anthropic puts out. So it's a very, very good model. Not for free. I mean, it's much, but 1/10 of the expense that Claude would be. If you got questions, let me know. Comments. I did try to schedule this, and as I say, like, subscribe, and all that stuff on my channel. I think I'm going to continue doing the live streams like this. Zoom, I don't know. I'm kind of preferring this format. So, works for me. Works for you too. I'm sure that's what the feedback I got. So, as I said, I'm appreciative of anyone being here, JDI, namely, right now. But let me know. So, I'm hoping to get the orders working tomorrow, Tuesday, the 19th of November, I believe. Once I get that, and I know that, I'm going to start looking at the mean reverting strategies. I think that's the next big step because of the way the markets are looking. There might be a bounce back with crypto, with Bitcoin. They're saying it's gone as low as it has, but usually what happens with Bitcoin, if there's a dip, there's usually comes back within a day, maybe 2 days at most. And it's been quite a while now with Bitcoin getting killed off, and gold, same. Not killed off, but it's kind of weird with gold because there was that big drop overnight a couple of weeks ago on the 23rd, I believe, on October. I think that's kind of spooked people because it wasn't organic or natural. We'll leave it at that. And because of that, I think people are fearful of gold, put money into gold, because that could happen any time whenever, we'll just use the word they, in quotes, air quotes, they decide, yeah. Do you use APIs for the AI models? Yeah, like I was mentioning earlier, I have started using AI APIs. Depends what you're prompting for code. I don't think it's that great. I might be able to finesse the prompting just to spit back code if that's the case, and that'll work. Depends on the language as well. So if it's Python, it shouldn't be a problem, like one script in the response. But if it's just for general querying, for sure, I think the APIs are good. Yeah, you can do that. So let's say if you just want to ask about general trading via AI through an API, yeah, that should be okay. And you can get some the word advice from AI the right way, the response from AI the right term, because I think we're going to get to a point where we're going to start regulating that, where you can't use AI for stock trading or any kind of investment. I'm sure a lot of regulators will have something to say about that. But the Chinese will do what they do, so that's what keeps the American AI, where they have that, they will keep that ability. So that might stay, I don't know, but I'm sure a lot of regulators will have a say over that, just to retain all the financial advisors and all that. I think it's hard to say, but I know there's new regulation coming, so I don't know the details on that. And as you know, when you change from government to government, like administration, new chair folks come in, the SCC, the CFTC, and they change that because of what the promises were made by the new administration. So hard to say, but we'll see. It'll be interesting to see what happens. That's all I can say. But AI, yeah, I can do that now. I don't know what the hype is with the MCP and all that. Oh, one big thing. Oh, I should mention this when it comes to AI. I just got access to Manus. Nobody knows about Manus. When you get these agent things out of the Chinese AI, I think Manus is probably your best one, but it's super expensive. Super expensive. It's one of the reasons why I doubled up my AI budget to probably put in some queries with Manus. Manus is awesome, really good, but it's not one of these free things. If you need to, how that's spelled, it's MANUS, Manus.ai. It's Chinese. So you could, I've asked it once under the free edition, just build me a trading platform. Off it went and built. Pretty impressed for $20. So how do you find it useful for developing strategies? AI is as stupid as the person that's asking the prompts, or it can be as smart. For the strategies, it depends on the AI as well. So as I said earlier, and the version that you're using, if you just generally just give me what are the best stocks to buy right now in AI. I wouldn't chance that. So it's a really hard question to answer. It can work. So if you provide raw data as a file to AI and say, give me a back test on this with, let's say, Claude, it will do it. And it will give you the right metrics. And then you could say in the same prompt, give me a walk forward analysis. It'll do that too. And then you could provide it 5, 10. I provided it 50 files. Does the whole thing. That's what I love about Claude, the latest version, current 4.5. So it's very useful to do it that way. But again, you got to be willing to spend the money. And what blows my mind is people don't want to spend this kind of money on AI to save them the time. I have seen more and more people resisting that. I don't understand that. Never have, never will. You got to put money. You want the quality output. You got to put the money in. But the best one out of all of them, I think, I'm going to try to confirm it's Manus. Manus is really good. But you got to know how to prompt, right? So I think it was with Manus, I asked it to develop a skeleton HFT platform with agents to it. It went out and built it, but it's very expensive. I'm sure Claude could do it as well. And then you could ask for strategies and stuff and just the basic stuff. But if you provide the raw files as well, you'll have much, much better accuracy as well. And that'll be both on the back test and the walk forward analysis. So that's the best way for that, I think. So it varies. What are you wanting out of it? What asset we dealing with, asset class, what time period, what kind of prompt you're wanting? Are you wanting code? Are you just wanting stock tips? It's a whole variety of stuff. It's just depend. But if you're going to do it with coding, for now, I'd say Claude is your best. And you always want to use the latest version as well. Because if you use an older version, it's going to just nothing but generate errors for you. And exceptions, just waste your time just to save a few, literally pennies on your prompt. Because I get to see the cost of the prompting. So, for instance, my Streamlit, I can do a prompt with that to build out the base code line, base line for the code on a project. Let's say for Streamlit on Opus 4.5, Claude 4.5. Thanks for the likes. 4.5, it'll run me about $2, $3. It doesn't sound a lot. And then you have to go through the debugging. Now, if you did that with 4.1 or 4 or less than Claude, you'll spend more money on the debugging iterations. Whereas if you spend, $3 on a prompt with Claude 4.5, you'll get a pretty good code base, and most likely it will run bug-free. No exceptions when you run it. That's with Python. So it's worthwhile. But if you take the same prompt now, I tried with, as of today, Gemini 3, that same prompt's going to cost you about $5. So it's almost double. And the quality of output, it's like half of what Claude 4.5 will give you. So that's what I'm finding. And Claude 4.5 has always been king for a couple of months now. ChatGPT, all of them, just don't. There's no comparison. At least from the quant and call it HFT like coding as well. So it's beyond useful for strategies. The other thing is, if you find other AI that when you ask for strategy, you can feed it in and say, "Hey, give me the code." Inside advanced now. And there's a lot of people saying you can't trust it. You can't. It's not reliable. Maybe it's true, and I think there's a lot of instances I've seen where it's true in the dashboards, especially. But if you know how to decipher that BS, the hallucination, that's one of the big things. So you're just looking for trends, and the next big thing is, can you take that code that it generates and actually trade with it? And that's what as I said before, I'm planning to do that and put some live money on, see what happens. And if it works, it works. And all those horse and buggy people, they don't know what they're talking about, I guess, or don't know how to do it. So, yeah, you can do it. If you got questions or comments, let me know. That's what we're here for. We got JDI. I think we started out with somebody else. Don't think they're here anymore. Yeah, but let me know. If you got questions or comments. Like I said, I don't think it'll get bigger than this kind of crowd. So, did pretty good last week, up to 7-8 people concurrently. But I'm not sure. I'm going to put a poll out on my post on my community tab, seeing what days and times people want, and I'll stick to that. Because YouTube tells me I got to be consistent with these things to grow it. So I'm planning Tuesdays at 7 p.m. That's what I'm looking at every week. Once a week. I can't do this every day. Originally I thought I could do it every day. There's no way. It burnout. And yeah, once a week's good. I'll probably find a structure, but for now I'm just talking about what I'm doing. Anybody got questions or comments? Let me know. That's what we're here for. Some people just come out and say hello and hello back. But if you're not on my email, quantlabsnet.com is where you want to go, and go into the trial, try tab to do the 7-day trial in the analytics, or the other one, learn, to get my newsletter. I do put one out every day. It just depends if you engage with it, then you will get it every day. If not, you don't get any emails. Pretty simple. I'll just mention this here while I can. Black Friday promotion. It's on right now. It's 75% off. I'm currently testing the access to everything for 2,000 US. 75%, so it's $4.99 for the year. You get everything on my website for 75% off. So if you're into it, let me know, or just get on my email. Let me know there. But it ends Cyber Monday, December 2nd, I believe, or 1st. And yeah, so there's that. Because the way I look at it, if the orders work, and then there's profit to be taken and it's consistent, I show a third-party verified track record, I can guarantee it's not going to be 2K, it's not going to be 5K, it's not going to be 10K, it's going to be a lot more. And the reason that is because people want it, got to pay. And that's how it works. It's the way of the world. People may not like it, but I'm just saying, jump in while you can. Who's got questions and comments and all that? Got 3 people. Wow. Anybody? No? What can I say? Have you found it useful? I've already answered that, JDI. You got any other questions, JDI? If nobody else wants to ask questions or comments. So, I don't know. I'd like to stay on more, but if nobody's got questions, I'll just bid adieu and we'll end it. So, like I said, if that's the case, then I'll just keep it going for starting again next Tuesday. I'll leave it at that, and then maybe put that kind of notice on my website. I'm hoping to kind of like just keep it at this format. Seems like YouTube likes to see the face. Don't ask me why, but that's what they like. Have you got any questions, GDI? It's coming up to 60 minutes, so maybe I might end there. If nobody comes in or asking questions. I did schedule this, email people yesterday. So sounds like I got to rely on the scheduling on YouTube. Build it out from within YouTube. Yeah, so there's lots of stuff going on. I'll know tomorrow or by Wednesday if the orders work with Rhythmic, and if they do, Ba boom, ba bing. I'll be putting all the source code up as well. And yeah, I'm pretty excited by it. If I see some progress, I'll definitely throw some extra funding in my account and go for some more, trade more concurrently. But there's not much to trade these days. Japanese yen, I mean, as a carry trade, but that's on the you're shorting it on the futures market. So if you do the USD Japanese yen, I don't think there's any volume whatsoever on it. But Japanese yen, yes. And the top, when I check bar chart for the most active futures today, it still is the NASDAQ and the Treasury. And there were some positive movers, namely Ethereum. But like I said, with the way I'm set up with Rhythmic using Edge Clear, I still got to confirm that if they allow me to trade Ethereum or Bitcoin through the Rhythmic on Edge Clear, I'm having problems with it. So it just doesn't. I can trade it. I can download everything else, but not Bitcoin or Ethereum for some reason. So I don't know what to say there. Obviously, the stock market's not the place right now to be in with the latest down trends that are pretty steep too. So you avoid. Also notice the TLT had a sell signal on that, so treasuries are not probably the best either. The other thing right now to trade outside of maybe Ethereum is currencies. And not seeing any agriculture at all, which I was hoping to see. And the other thing is gold, silver. And then what else is there? From what I'm seeing 2 weeks ago when this started to come about, the signaling started about 2 weeks ago. It started VIX, which makes sense. As well as the agriculture, soybean and corn as well. So there might be some interesting areas to kind of play around in. But again, I don't know if there's micros. I think there's some micros for one of the corn or soybean. So I'll test that out. And the other one, if there's a micro VIX as well, I'm not sure. But those are the three right now that may be the movers for the next while. And currencies as well. Euro, I have to check again, but it did signal it. So we'll see. But I'm going to try that out. For a while, the Australian dollar looked pretty good, but that's now been getting clobbered. Brazil, maybe. I haven't checked on Brazil USD yet. If that's moving, the thing's not downloading DXY for some reason, which is the US dollar index. So there might be some growth there as well. But I have to look around. I think oil might have some growth as well, but I haven't really looked at all around. So who's got questions? Like we're back to us, JDI. If you got any question, let me know. I'll wait around for another 5 minutes so you can work with the delay and answer it. If not, I'll kind of end this. So if you got any questions, just let me know. Thanks for sticking around. It sounds like you're the only one stuck around here for that amount of time. But I'll wait for a question if you got one. And I'll terminate quiet night tonight for whatever reason. But I'll be back next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Probably be the easiest. So you can tell I'm covering quite a bit, but I'll probably have better answers for the orders. I want to do a long form Zoom presentation on that as well. I think that would be a useful topic because I've done enough on the dashboards and the Python, the strategies, and I've done a lot of topics there on Zoom presentations and webinars, but I've not talked about the orders execution. And after that, I think it's just going to be talking about trading itself. see how that goes, and maybe have a third-party verified track record to boot with that, and hopefully that brings in the legitimacy that people have been wanting for all this time. Don't blame them. Any questions? So I'll wait till 1:00. Well, I'm up at 1 hour now, so I'll wait another 5 minutes, see what happens. People may have a comment if they follow up watching this, which is all fine. So we'll see what happens here. Maybe I might not stick it out. Okay. I guess nobody's coming in. All right. So thanks, JDI, for watching. Anyone else who watched, and they say subscribe, like the channel. And if you're not, and join the quantlabsnet.com. You can join the email list there under the Learn tab. And get all my stuff. So got a new person coming in. See how that goes. Just wait for comments and questions of stuff. I've been blabbing for over an hour now. If you missed it, you can just watch it once it's rendered. You can rewatch this stream. And give it a whirl. But I know there's a lag time between me talking and you end up hearing me. So obviously, gotta wait it out. Yep, so it's gonna be 7 p.m. next Tuesday. Tuesdays from here on out. Just easier. I used to do things on Mondays, but holiday Monday, it's less blabbing. Let's see here. So it's already 2 minutes in. All right, so I guess nothing else is going to happen. I'm going to end it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, night, wherever you are. Bye-bye.